All right, guys, I'm going to get started. If people jump on, that's great. If not, this will be recorded. So I try to record everything and get it posted so that people that can't make it on can have it in their files so they can check it out. So thank you guys so much for hopping on. First of all, I just wanted to, so tonight's call is going to be about, making your biggest setback your greatest setup. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because if you know me and know my situation, things have been a little rough over the last 6 months of life. And so I really wanted to talk to you guys, number one, about how hard work pays off. And I want to talk about this because I've been able to step back a little bit. So my setback, that allowed me to step back a little bit in the business has only been possible, and I've continued to be able to earn money through my Beachbody business because I put in the work, because I was consistent, because I was, day in and day out putting in the work. And so it set me up for success for the time that I did have to, step back a little bit. So I just wanted to throw that out there before we got started. And then also, remember, our Super Friday is coming up. It might be Super Saturday in your area. It's the biggest event of the year, January 7th or January 6th, whichever city you're in, but they are available all over the country. So remember that you can find one near you. You just go on to Team Beachbody, and I highly, highly recommend you getting involved in your local Super Saturday. It is so important. I cannot stress it enough to get involved, whether it's online with, these calls, or it is getting to the actual events. It's huge. Like, it's a must do, because I'll tell you, if I didn't get involved immediately, my business would have gone nowhere. Like, literally nowhere. I would have been like, I don't know anybody. I don't feel connected. I don't feel the passion. I'm done. But number one, important, you're getting on this call. You are, either watching this recorded or you're on it live. Number two, you are looking for a Super Saturday in your area. And then also, plan ahead. Plan for the next Super Saturdays, as well as our summit, which is in the summertime. And that is our biggest event other than, this Super Saturday coming up. So check it out. Make sure you are aware of all the big things coming up. And remember to stay in the game. Don't give up, and always try and make sure that you catch up on things that you miss. All right. So making your biggest setback your greatest setup. This honestly just comes down to a decision. You're truly one choice away, one step away from making this your thing, from making this, the thing that makes you confident, that makes your career, that it's just one choice away. So you may have fallen off the wagon, whether it was health and fitness wise or business wise. You may have stepped back a little bit. You might feel like you're back at square one. But no matter where you are right now in your business, and even if you're brand new at this, you're one step away from making the decision to commit. You're one step away from saying, okay, no more excuses. I'm going to do this. I'm going to commit to this. And I'm going to turn my setback into my setup. And so I just wanted to go over a few things tonight on, how we can make that happen. And so number one is to own it. I want you guys to be honest with people. It is so important that whether you're backsliding, or maybe you're a brand new coach, or maybe you're struggling in an area, own it and talk about it, because that is how people connect with you. I cannot tell you that how many people have come to me and said, thank you so much for being so vulnerable about what you're going through, or about, I would have never known you struggle with that too. People come and say thank you to me for that, because let's get real. People don't connect with perfect people because nobody's perfect. So don't present yourself in that way. So if you have, fallen off the wagon business-wise, or even eating-wise, own own it. And remember that for the future. If you're a brand new coach and you're like, well, I don't really have that because I'm just starting. Well, just remember that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to say, listen, guys, like I had all intentions of, going all out in this, and I fell on my face, and I gave up, or I, was on this diet plan and I was doing really great, and then I fell off the wagon. It's okay, because honesty is what's going to bring people to you to connect. So own it. We fail. We all fall off. But what's important is that you're in the game now. You're back at it, and you're in the game now. So that is number one. Own it. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, just own it. Be honest and say, listen, I'm human, and I'm moving forward, and I'm going to do this thing. So, and then number two is, we're getting back to the basics. We have to get back to the basics of the business. So you will hear this over and over and over again. And it is the 4 vital behaviors. And if you're a brand new coach, this might be the first time you're hearing this, but it will not be the last. It will be drilled into your brain over and over again, okay? So number 1 is inviting, okay? This means that you're inviting at least 3 to 5, if not more, depends how quickly you want to build your business, but you're inviting at least 3 people a day into accountability groups or for the coaching opportunity. Something I've thought about as I was kind of, I don't want to say on my leave of absence, but, as I've kind of stepped back and kind of, really rethought the business and thought about what was going on. And, we have to remember why we are here. Why did we start as coaches? And it's to help people. And so many times we get caught up in, the rat race of feeling like we have to rank advance, or feeling like, what's the next rung we have to get to. And I really want to hone back in and on our purpose here. And our purpose is, to serve people, to help people. Our purpose is to not get a challenge pack sale. Our purpose is not to, push a sale or to, get those Success Club points. Yes, those are great, and those are business markers, but that shouldn't be the focus. Our focus should be people. How many people can we help this month? Whether it's 1 or 25, every single life matters. So I want you guys to remember, we have to be out there inviting and talking about this so that we can actually help people. If we don't build a reputation with people of knowing that, hey, like I'm into this health and fitness thing and you can come to me for help, then they're not going to know about it, okay? So it's twofold. You have to put yourself out there doing your posts so that people know and trust you, and you can build that up. And then 2, be actually inviting people. If you're not inviting people, they don't know like what this thing is that you're doing. And so you could be posting all day long, but if you're not inviting, you're completely missing the mark. You might be helping people a little bit here and there behind the scenes, but you're not actually helping them personally. So invite is number 1. Once again, you want to be reaching out to people, to at least 3 people a day, asking them to join an accountability group, but more importantly, how you can help them. What are their health and fitness goals? How can you help them going into this new year? So remember, put their needs first. Get to know them first. That's what this business is about. It's not about a Success Club point. It's not about how many, points you can ring up this month. It's about people and their needs, and how can we meet those needs? So once again, really focus on how we can help people this month and every month moving forward. In our training, we'll go more into inviting. So if you're not in it and you want to be in our training, let me know and I'll get you added in. So we're going to really dive into how to invite to all these things, give you examples and things like that. But I'm just covering the basics for now. All right. So that's inviting. Secondly is being product of the product, okay? So yes, it is important. Drink your Shakeology every single day. I promise it will make a difference, and it will make you have an experience with it, so it makes it easier to talk to people. So you're doing your workouts, and you're drinking your Shakeology, and you're eating properly. You're eating the 80-20 rule. I'm not saying you have to be perfect, and you don't have to have a six-pack, and you don't have to, drop 100 pounds. I'm just saying, get to know the stuff for yourself. Get your own experience with it. And in order to do that, you have to be a product of the product. So you're drinking the Shakeology, eating properly for the most part, and also, doing your workouts. Okay? Product to the product, that is number 2. Number 3 is personal development. Okay, guys, if you've fallen off the wagon, if you have kind of thrown the business to the wayside, if you have had negative thoughts about this business and said, I can't do this, or it's not for me, or this or that or the other thing, are you doing your personal development? Probably not. And so personal development is not only just, reading books and diving into maybe YouTube, where there is a plethora of information and motivation and encouragement, as well as actual tools on how to build your business. But also, getting involved with what the heck Beachbody is doing. So the National Wake Up Calls, maybe listening to trainings from Melanie Mitro or Lindsay Matway, the top coaches, Bonnie Engel. It's important to kind of have the twofold. So you're learning the trainings as well as, doing the outside things like reading the Compound Effect or, Leadership Academy type things. Personal development is your key, because this is where when the going gets tough, this is the thing that's going to keep you going. Because if you're not changing your mind, if you're not leading and growing into a leader, you're going to lose it, and you're going to make excuses, and the negativity is going to, come and back in. So just like, if you had a dirty glass of water and you wanted to filter out the dirt. So imagine that dirt is the negativity and the doubt and the fear. You have to continually fill it up with the fresh, clean water. So if you have that dirty cup, you turn the faucet on, you keep the clean water draining into it, eventually the dirt will filter itself out. Our minds are no different. If you let that dirty cup sit still and you stop filling it with the clear water, eventually the dirt is going to settle. Eventually the dirt is going to take it over again, because that's how it works. That's how our minds work. You have to constantly be filtering in the fresh, clean water in order to get the negativity out. So personal development is so important. You guys, don't skip it. Do it every single day. And if it's brand new to you, start small. Just start by listening to a podcast or something, 10 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be huge, but it's something that as you grow, you're going to want to do it more and more, because it will feed your soul. And truthfully, for me, this can't be more, pertinent in my life right now. If I didn't constantly dive into my personal development and reading my Bible and other podcasts and other things like that, truthfully, guys, I would not be in the state I am right now. I would be curled up in my couch. I would have quit Beachbody. I would have stopped eating. I would not be able to get up and do my workouts. Like, seriously. I mean, personal development has been the thing that keeps me going and gets me up in the morning and keeps me motivated. So do not take it for granted. Make it a point to do it. It will change your life. I promise you, it will change your life. It'll change your relationships. It'll change your mindset. It'll change your business. You must do personal development. And then number 4, is recognition. Recognition is something that, at first you might be like, oh, well, I don't really have anybody to recognize because I don't really have a team, or I don't really have, you know, many challengers. But I promise you, you can find people to recognize always, whether they're not necessarily on your team, or maybe it's, you know, somebody within the team that isn't your downline that you just want to recognize. The more you recognize, the more the morale goes up and the more people want to do things. So for me, this is something I have seriously lacked in because I have not had time or energy. And so this is my focus. And like I said, own up, right? I have to own up to this stuff too, because I haven't been doing this. And that is one thing that I know has to come back into play, because you guys all deserve it, and my challengers deserve it, and everybody who does anything good, which there's something good about everybody, you know, deserves some sort of recognition. So whether it's weight loss, maybe it's just, you know, wow, you like hated personal development and now you're doing it. Or maybe, you know, somebody finally committed to doing a program, or maybe somebody lost their first 5 pounds, or whatever it is. Find something to recognize people for, because that is what keeps them motivated. And gosh, it just makes them feel good. We're here to change lives, and recognition is a piece of that, right? Everybody loves to feel loved and be recognized for something. So be sure to recognize people around you. And this isn't just for the business. This is for life. You know, I really try to recognize people in my day-to-day face life. And whether it's telling a girl at the grocery store, you know, I love her hair, or, you know, she looks beautiful today, or I really like her dress, or gosh, where did she get those shoes, or whatever it is, I try to point out, you know, things with people that I really admire, or just want to uplift people. That's what recognition is about, is uplifting people, making people feel good. And like I said, if you learn to do it every day, it's a little uncomfortable at first, like, and you kind of talk yourself out of it sometimes. You know, like today, actually, I was at the grocery store, and the girl at the checkout, she was just beautiful, like, and I just felt like I should tell her that. I was like, oh, I like that scenario in my head was like, oh, like, you don't say that, it's kind of weird. And then I was like, you know what? No, like, you have to start listening to that inner voice. And I was like, you look beautiful today. And she was like, oh, thank you. And so, you know, it's like those little things, those little nudges that we have to learn to listen to, and we need to do on the spot. Like, stop overthinking it, stop talking yourself out of it, and just do it on the spot, because if you don't, you're going to forget about it. And mom brain over here will definitely forget about it. So do it on the spot, even if it's just like a little voice memo, like, hey, I'm so proud of you, congratulations that you lost your first 5 pounds. Done, right? So it doesn't always have to be public. You can do public posting, but it can also be done behind the scenes too. Text, voice memo, voicemail, phone call, whatever, email. So make sure you're recognizing. All right, moving on. So that was my back to the basics. That is the core of the business, those 4 things, okay? So that's invite, product to the product, personal development, and recognition. So our number 3 is Shakeology. And if you go on our page, I posted a few things about Shakeology already. If you go into the file section, there's even more stuff about Shakeology. But I cannot begin to tell you the importance of Shakeology. If you don't know about it, get to know it. This is the one thing that's going to excite you. It's the one thing that you're going to be like, holy cow, this really like actually changes lives. Like, it's not a cliche, it actually does. Get to know it like it's the back of your hand. And then once again, as you're a product of the product, you should have your own experience with it. And everybody's experience is a little different. So I'm going to share mine with you. So after my second baby, I was frustrated in my weight. I wasn't heavy by any means, but I just wasn't myself. I was uncomfortable in my body. I, you know, had some fluff in places I wasn't used to. I was frustrated because we don't have a gym in the area, and I was getting to the gym, or let me rephrase that. We do have a gym in the area, but there's no childcare. So I was getting frustrated because I was only getting to the gym every once in a while. So I was like, okay, I'm really going to hone in on my diet. So I did. I was eating really healthy. I was drinking protein shakes, and I wasn't seeing a difference. On top of it, I have Lyme's disease, and that's something that never leaves you. And I got it when I was in 4th grade, and it literally just destroyed my immune system. I was sick all the time, like literally all the time. Somebody would cough across like the school, and somehow I would get a terrible sickness. Doctors wouldn't even know how to like prescribe me any type of medication or give me a diagnosis. My throat would close up. I couldn't even like swallow my own spit. They would give me steroids. Like I was supposed to get sinus surgery. I was supposed to get my tonsils out. Like I was a disaster. I was sick all the time. And like there was times when, you know, my husband was like, you literally look like you're going to die. Like, are you okay? Like, you literally look like you're going to die. And I felt like I was going to die. But that's how sick I would get. And so when I started taking Shakeology, it was, it wasn't really for that purpose. But about 6 months in to drinking Shakeology every single day, all of a sudden, I was like, I haven't been sick. And it was like incredible to me. And I was like, okay, well, like now I took note of it and like kept drinking it. And within 14 days of consistently drinking it and kept to my diet, and I then started the workout program, I started to see changes in my body. And then I got into the best shape of my life, probably 4 months in as a coach. And then, and meanwhile, you know, guys, I was an athlete my entire life. I've always been conscious of like what I ate. I've always been, you know, self-aware. I've always been active. So, you know, after my second baby, to get into the best shape of my life, doing, you know, an in-home program and drinking the Shakeology was like huge. And like I said, on top of it, I still haven't had my tonsils out. I never had to have sinus surgery. If my kids get sick, I literally don't get sick. Like it's amazing. And you don't, so many people take their health for granted. You know, it's not until you lose your health that you realize how important it is. So for us, and for those of you who have maybe never been really sick in your life, from somebody who has had really strange illnesses and like really bad sicknesses, I will tell you, do not take it for granted. It is so important to take care of yourself. And I would spend all of the money in the world to be able to have Shakeology every single day, because it has saved me so much pain and suffering and not being able to take care of my kids and medical bills. So it is worth it. Shakeology is so worth it. And so that's my story. It affected me more on the health realm than weight loss, although I did have an experience with that as well. But for me, it's my health. Like I would do anything to have my health and to keep it. And so Shakeology is my thing and is my go-to, and I swear by it. And so having an experience is going to be that thing that propels you. And so you will not be afraid to talk to people about it, because you're gonna be like, listen, this is what it's done for me. Like, it's amazing. And you'll be able to talk to people about it. So Shakeology, get to know it. You don't have to know every single ingredient and, you know, what every single ingredient does, but you should know the basics. Like, there's 70 superfoods in it and why it works. So watch that video that Shay Stanford did. And make sure that you are getting to know it. Kelly, I'm really, really sick for the last month, and I know it's because I have not been drinking Shakeology every day. Yeah, seriously. Also, Kelly, there's a couple of different supplements that you can take since you are sick that I love. I'm not sure, what are you sick with? Do you know? Just like cold, asthma. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, there's what is it that helps asthma? I forget what I was going to say. However, the different natural supplements that I love taking to add to this cold, So echinacea is a really good one. Elderberry is like the bomb. Apple cider vinegar, organic apple cider vinegar, oil of oregano, and also colloidal silver. Those are all really good like additives that you can add to a regimen that, if the kids get really sick, I know, like I am like drinking my Shakeology for sure, and then I'm going to add some of those other things in. Sometimes I'll double up on my Shakeology for the day, but you can give some of those things a try, and hopefully you can kick that sickness and be feeling better soon. I'm sorry you're sick. That really stinks. But yes, Shakeology, must get on it. All right. Number 4 is, well, I kind of already went into this, so, or maybe I said it already. Get your personal experience with it and then hone in on it. So what I mean by that is get your personal experience and talk about it. People will only know what you talk about, right? So make sure, like Kelly, that would actually be a really great post. That would be, I'm owning up to it. And listen, guys, because I haven't been, this is what's going on. That's your personal experience as well as owning it. So, make sure that you are aware. You could even take a journal. Like if you, because like I said, it literally probably took me 6 months for me to realize like, oh my gosh, like I'm not sick anymore. And I probably, if I kind of kept track of life a little bit better, I would have recognized that like way earlier. But so hone in on your own personal story, share it in different ways and talk about it. Don't be afraid to talk about it. It's your life. It's just like going to a really awesome restaurant and then telling all your friends about it. It's no different. It's like, oh my gosh, this brand new restaurant came into town. I loved it. They have really great wine and they have really great appetizers. You need to try it out. Shakeology is the same stinking way. So get your own experience and then share it with the world. Talk about it, post about it, and that's going to be your thing. So make sure you are going to hone in on that story of yours. And then, I think that's it. Did I go over well? Okay, so yes. So I want you guys to really, for those of you who have been in the business, I want you to think about your personal story with the products, with Shakeology, with the business. Write it down. Reevaluate everything that it's done for you. It is so important for us to sit down and reflect. So reflect on what it has done for you and then begin to talk about it. For those who have been in the business and for those of you that are just starting, I want you to make peace with your past and move on. Whether it's, a previous business that, failed, or anything that may be holding you back, or you questioning your current business, or you just saying, man, I just totally fell off. Make peace with it and move on and recommit. So you're committing now to moving forward, to new beginnings, to new success, to new people. This is your time to recommit. Because the truth is, guys, it doesn't matter how quickly in this business you go, okay? What matters is that you're helping people and you're committed to it. So you have to be consistent and persistent. And with those two things, you will see success. Whether it's slow or it's quick, if you're helping people and you're committed to doing it, your business might be moving slow, but guess what? You're still moving. And that is what's important. It's the people that just stop and then give up that never see success. And it kills me because, if you read The Compound Effect, which if you haven't, you need to read it, the little decisions that you make over time, the little things you put into your business over time, the amount of people you help over time, it compounds, it builds. And so people quit when they're just on the verge of seeing their business move. And it might take 3 years depending upon what you're doing with it. It might take 5 years depending upon what you're doing with it. It might just take 1 year. But the important piece is that you're committed to sticking to it, and that, hey, recognizing we're going to have bad times. Like, life is going to happen. We're going to have times where we don't want to do it. We're going to have times when we may feel like giving up. But your commitment has to be stronger than your feelings in that moment. And it goes the same thing for a health and fitness journey. Your feelings are not always going to be like, yes, let's go work out. You know, you're going to have days where you're like, I just don't want to get off this couch. I don't want to work out. But your commitment has to be greater and stronger than your feelings in that moment. So your business is the same. Commit to it and stick to it. Bottom line. And you will see success over time. So this is not a race. This is about consistency and helping people. So I want you guys today to commit. You're committing to doing this. You're making peace with your past and moving forward no matter what. Because as long as you are moving forward in some sort of way, you're still moving. You're not standing still. You're not going backwards, and you will see success. We are here to help people. We are here to inspire people. We are here to serve people. We are here to help people live longer lives, healthier lives. And what you do is never gone unseen. I want you guys to realize that, because although it might be discouraging to see only 2 people like your photo today, or maybe none, people are watching you. People that you don't even know are watching you, and you're impacting their lives. And that's what we're here to do. So don't get discouraged. Focus on moving forward. And one thing I just want to share with you that goes with consistency before we get off this call, and it was really profound to me. And this homeless man actually this weekend shared this with me. And you know, so I took my kids into Pittsburgh, and we were serving the homeless, and you know, we like to make relationships with them and pray for them, and you know, ask them, you know, what is it that kind of got you here, and how can we pray for you and help you? And the one guy said, he was like, you know what, I never did drugs, I never got in trouble with the law, but I made small, consistent, bad decisions. And I saw all of my friends make small, consistent, good decisions. And they kept climbing the ladder, and I kept going backwards. And so those, where they might have used to be here, those small little bad choices, and those other really good choices that other people made, those small little things that may seem like they don't matter, they matter. They all add up. And it just broke my heart, because it's like, gosh, we take for granted the little choices we make, and the little things we could do, and the little things that we're maybe too lazy to do, or, you know, all of those things matter. And so I want to encourage you to always make the right choice, and always do the right thing, and always, even though it may be hard, to do it anyways. That when you feel like giving up, don't, because those choices all matter and all reflect on your life. So I hope that story leaves you with something. I know it really, really spoke to me, you know, coming from, you know, a lot of times you look at people, you know, who are on the street, and you think, well, they must have screwed up, right? And that's how we judge people. And we think, well, they must be into drugs, or, well, if you give them money, it's probably going to alcohol, or whatever it is. And like, we have no right to judge that. And he was just proof of that. Like, it's sometimes just the small little things that lead you to that path. And so I want to encourage you today to make little, consistent, good behaviors every single day. Because although in the moment they may not look like they matter or that they're adding up to anything great, they are. So that is what I want you guys to reflect on, to commit to, and really take a moment tonight after we get off to look at your story, to look at where you've come from, to also appreciate where you are today. I think so many times we look at where we want to be and we completely lose the impact of where we are today and the greatness of where we are today, because we look at where we want to be and it's discouraging. And instead of looking at where we are right now and saying, gosh, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm a lot further along than where I used to be. So stay encouraged. Don't let where you want to be take away from the joy of where you've come from. So I want to encourage you with that today, and to write some things down to keep you motivated, to look at how far you have come, and just keep moving forward. Commit to helping people, changing lives, and commit to sticking to this. All right, guys, I remember we have our little assignments in our Fearless Warrior Academy to get done. Make sure you do that because that's a part of moving your business forward. But I want to encourage you to, if you have the opportunity, get out there and do something for somebody else this season. It is Christmas time, and I know so many times we can be so focused on what we have to do and get done. But if you can do something for somebody else, that will give you more joy than anything else. So have a wonderful night, and feel free to text me or message me if you have any questions about tonight's call or anything else business related. All right, guys, have a wonderful night, and thank you for hopping on.